Welcome to Cosmic Turtles. My name is Tina, and today we're doing a reading. It's collective and channeled, and we're using the help of the cards. I'm starting off actually with my cards that I made, but these are my originals. And we're starting off with that. We're doing a 5-card pull, and I will show them to you as soon as they're all out. Let's see what we got. And then we'll clarify them with the tarot. We're going to do the opposite of what we usually do to see what kind of result we're going to have. Sometimes, maybe that is the answer. Do things differently in life to get a different result. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you'll always have the same result. It's also the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah, boy. So let's see what we got. And we're going above the astral. We're going above that. So I have 3 cards so far. There's 2 more coming. There's birds going by. Very beautiful. I think they're crows. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Whatever this reading is about, it's showing the progression. For those of you that it resonates, it's showing the progression towards completing a cycle in one or many subject matters or aspects that has to do with your own personal life. My card readings are internal readings. Mostly it deals with the internal self. Sometimes I'll give examples of the outer self, how it could be reflected outwardly. If you feel this way, this is what could happen on the outside. Now, if this happens on the outside and you start feeling this way on the inside, then this is what's going to happen again on the outside. So it's showing a different perspective. So, first card we got. There was a time where you thought whatever you were doing was impossible. Then you started realizing that you are possible because you have the ability to learn. And all you had to do was change your perspective for you to be able to start moving forward in this newness that you chose to try out or do. Okay? In order to be able to make all this possible, you also had to surrender to the highest parts of yourself. Surrender to love and practice compassionate action. Started listening to the guidance that's within you. And when you went inside, you discovered that you are and have the Ascended Masters at your disposal. You've discovered you are part of this whole creation as well. Your higher self is you. And at first, maybe it was a little impossible because you're still working on the impossible part and you're shifting different limiting beliefs. And then you started accepting yourself as you were authentically made, originally made. It's just you didn't know that, but this is the progression. Then you realize definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, you are loved beyond measure. So this is a beautiful progression of like the internal journey and what people go through in their own personal evolution of becoming, of being. Okay? And there's many little subject matters. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes emotional, sometimes it's mental. There's a lot of little things to work at to get to these results. Okay. Oh, first one. Well, this is to clarify the impossible or I'm possible. It's a matter of perspective. And we have the King of Wands. You started off with a big passion, something you were passionate about, that drive, that fire to be able to even push yourself into the unknown in the first place. And you have this tiny little reptile, lizard, gecko, lizard, something. This was the aspect within you that kept your emotions regulated, so you could keep having that good flow. Okay? Next, what was the progression in the next step? What else do we got for the collective? Whoa! It just threw it all over the place. Surrender to love and practice compassionate action. You started building on the things that you hold of value. They weren't totally built yet, but this was the vision board. This was within, this is what you'd like to accomplish. The 10 of Pentacles. The abundance, the connections, the groundedness, the access to wisdom. The hard work that paid off. Okay? Because it was done in a good way. It's everything that you can ask for in a physical experience that brings you to your success, satisfaction, just feeling good about yourself. And all you had to do was walk away from things that no longer served you. And that was a hard part there too. So that's another coin. It added value to you to actually go and do it and not give up. So let's see what is the clarifier for the next card. It says you are and have the Ascended Masters at your disposal. And it's clarified by the Queen of Swords. She's sitting on top here. She's above the clouds. And she has access to the Ascended Masters. She's listening to her internal guidance. And that's what's allowing her to go forward. So you started really cutting through your own BS first and foremost. Yes, you'll notice everybody else's, but you haven't looked in the mirror yet. But when you do, that's when you get king or queen status and you start cutting out your own BS. Whatever it is that you've been holding on to, and then you start realizing, geez, I've been holding on to this all this time, and this is the reason why I felt like everything was slow and stagnant and I couldn't go forward. Geez, now I know that. Okay, I'm cutting this off. And then once you did that, you were able to move forward into your abundance, into the next stage, the next step, and feel a momentum building. You can feel it on the inside. Oh, next card. The one clarifying acceptance of yourself is key. We have the 7 of Wands. You have to stand your ground in front of other people. They tried to come at you, but you were like, no, this is me. This is what I realized. And after a while, you never mind the fight. You're like, yeah, I don't need their permission to keep going forward. But for those I love, I wanted to show. It's like you had something to prove, but all you had to do was just accept yourself. So there was a dilemma. There was a duality here that needed to be integrated. You soon realized that all you had to do was make a stand for yourself within yourself, in front of all those limiting beliefs you had that came from other people anyway. It wasn't your own original thought. It was somebody else, and you took it on as if it is you, and then you realize it's not. whatever it was that growing up, other people had high expectations about you and tried to nurture you to go into in a path that they would have liked to be in, but they're living it through you. You had to start making a stand saying, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. If you didn't do what you wanted to do, then that's on you. It's not up to me to take on that mantle and responsibility and live two lives, right? I need to focus and be completely into my individual self so I can do what I came here to do and help elevate human consciousness, help elevate each other. Because if you were originally made to be of service in a certain aspect in life, but you forgot that, and everybody else is telling you who you should be, yet you were already made to do a certain path by the divine. And, well, first, you had to discover who you are and get to that point. While you're getting to that point, the challenge is everybody's telling you who you should be. This is when you stand your ground and say, no, this is what I'm discovering myself to be, because it's between me and the Creator. And I started accepting myself as it is. And as you accept yourself, others that told you what to do and judged you and criticized and blah, 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 because it didn't meet their expectations of what originally they were trying to put on you, they have no choice but to accept that you've accepted yourself. Because they know they won't be able to change your mind. You've already discovered your own truth. All they were doing was trying to prevent you from finding your own truth about yourself. Because they thought if you discover that, you're going to leave and not be friends with them anymore. Or you're not going to love them anymore. It was like there's some scenarios where, in the collective, where it is sweet. And there's some scenarios in the collective where it isn't. It was totally ill intention and they didn't want you to keep moving forward because they knew that you would soon realize that they are intentionally being a piece of crap to everybody and anybody because they don't want to do the work to rise out of that toxic realm, because they know it so well. They don't want to leave it to walk into an unknown and feel like they don't want to feel stupid. They want to stay in the realm where they know everything about it, but they'll always have that lingering unsatisfaction within and that emptiness until they start walking into the unknown and fill up that void. So, to each his own. Let's see what else we got for another card. So we got two. It's to clarify you are loved beyond measure. At first you encounter loss. Before you realize that, you see the 3 cups that fell right here. And you're at the river of tears. And you feel you got nothing to offer, to go to that castle and offer, crying over spilt milk, it says, but it's a true sadness for you. It's affecting your emotions. Some people are sensitive, or when you allow yourself to get vulnerable, you get even more sensitive, and you realize that you're more sensitive, and then you're like, gosh, okay, just go with it. Acceptance of yourself is key, because you will grow in strength. At first, yes, you feel very sensitive, and all you're looking at is what you lost. So you're like, how am I loved beyond measure? You get the message more than once in your life, and then you start questioning what was told to you. You're like, how am I loved beyond measure if I went through so much loss? Well, the universe said, and it shows in this card as well, there's time for grieving. And then you start getting illuminated. You're learning through these lessons, through these experiences. You're growing. You're getting enlightened. What you'll do soon is you'll turn around. You'll see these 2 cups that are still standing. And then when you look up, you'll see this bridge in the background, and then you still can make it to the castle. That's how you're loved. You're going to get the lesson and, well, in this case, get the princess, right? You're going to experience both. Not at the same time, but close. Because everything is given to you. It's just by the time you realize it, you got to do one thing at a time. So, when you're here, he's here. But before he turns around and actually turns around, what happens? Because he's going deeper to find out, what do you mean I'm loved beyond measure? That's not what life has been reflecting to me. Then you get into hermit mode. You're going deep. He's going deep inside. Hermit. You start putting things into perspective. Start putting the light on things that were put in the dark for so long. You start lighting those things up. And you start realizing that, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am loved beyond measure. It's only through the dark you can find the light. That's why we came here on earth, to have an experience. So, as he's going through this sorrow, and once he's done grieving, he's going to go even deeper. And then it'll put the light on. And the light is going to show him that when you come back to yourself, like these are moments, when you come back to your physical reality and bring every part of you that you discovered, that you lit up, you bring it with you, then you turn around. And then you're able to move forward. All right. This has been a jam-packed full of information. I know it has. And every aspect of this can be taken to very deep and detailed levels here. However, take what resonates. Throw it all out if you want. Come back to it another time. These readings are timeless. Whenever you're like, I want to know about this part. What was that sequence again? What was it? I think I'm there. So, the bottom of the deck was completion of a cycle, play as a child. And you'll know what this means once you get there. Alright. Love you all lots, collective. This is Tina from Cosmic Turtles. I will see you next time.